Peace. It's not something most men talk about. But when they find it, you can see it in everything they do. In a world that constantly asks men to be strong, loud, and unshakable, finding peace in a woman is like finding oxygen in chaos. He may not say, "You calm me," or "I feel safe with you," but he'll show it, quietly, in 1,000 little ways that only someone paying attention can see. This video isn't about grand gestures or romantic cliches. It's about those small, deeply human signals a man gives when you're not just the woman he likes, you're his peace. So here are 15 hidden ways a man shows you're his safe place, without ever saying it. His silence around you feels full, not empty. When he's with you, silence doesn't feel awkward. He doesn't rush to fill the air with meaningless words. Instead, he exhales. His shoulders drop. He leans back. That's because peace isn't loud. It's the kind of quiet that feels complete. If a man can sit next to you, say nothing, and still feel connected, it means you become his calm in a world that never stops demanding noise. He stops performing with most people. Men wear masks, confident, capable, in control. But with you, he doesn't need to act strong. He laughs in ways he never laughs elsewhere. His tone softens. He allows small imperfections to show. That's not weakness. That's trust. When a man stops performing, he's telling you, "You're where I can breathe." His body language slows down around you. Notice how his movements shift when you're near. Slower, gentler, less tense. His eyes soften when he looks at you. His touch, even if casual, becomes careful. That's the body's way of saying, "I'm safe." When a man finds peace in someone, his nervous system literally relaxes. You'll see it in the way his heartbeat steadies, the way his laughter lasts longer, the way he doesn't check his phone every 5 seconds. He listens differently. Men listen in 2 ways, to reply or to understand. When you're his peace, he listens to understand. He remembers what you say, not because he's trying to impress you, but because your words matter to him. He doesn't interrupt. He nods quietly, sometimes smiles at small things. He's not analyzing, he's absorbing. That's how you know he's found something real. He protects your mood like it's his own. If you're upset, he feels uneasy. If you're smiling, he relaxes. It's because your energy affects his peace. He becomes gentle with your emotions, not out of fear, but respect. He checks in with small phrases like, "You okay?" or "What's wrong?" Even when you insist you're fine. He may not always have the right words, but he'll make the effort to restore your calm, because your peace is tied to his. He chooses you in his quiet moments. When? He's not required to be anywhere or with anyone. When the day ends and the mask fades, he reaches for you. That's not convenience. That's connection. You'll notice it in the late-night messages, the way he calls without reason, or how he shows up without being asked. When a man finds peace in you, he naturally gravitates toward you in the quiet hours of his day. Because peace doesn't demand attention. It invites presence. He's gentle in disagreement. Watch how he argues with you. A man who finds peace in you doesn't weaponize silence or raise his voice. Even in conflict, he chooses to protect the bond rather than win the battle. He pauses before reacting. He might say, "Let's talk about this later," not to escape, but to make sure he doesn't hurt you. That's emotional maturity born from comfort. When you're his peace, he values harmony more than ego. He shares his quiet truths. Men rarely talk about their fears, but when you're his peace, he'll start opening small doors. He'll tell you about the things that once broke him, the people who disappointed him, the dreams he doesn't say out loud. That level of openness isn't casual, it's sacred. It means you're not just his lover, you're his sanctuary. He stops comparing you to others. There's a moment in every man's life when he stops looking around. He doesn't notice who's prettier, funnier, or more available, because he's done searching. When he's found peace, the rest of the world fades. He stops chasing stimulation and starts valuing stability. You become the quiet in his storm, not by doing more, but by simply being. He protects you from his chaos. Men often carry internal wars, stress, failure, self-doubt, but when he finds peace in you, he'll guard you from that chaos. He might withdraw a little when overwhelmed, not because he's losing interest, but because he respects what you represent. He doesn't want to unload his storms onto you. Instead, he'll handle them and return calmer. That's how you know your sacred space to him. He becomes present, not just available. Availability is physical. Presence is emotional. He might not text every minute, but when he's with you, he's there. No distractions, no fake interest, just quiet attentiveness. His phone stays aside. His eyes stay on you. That's how peace feels. Not clingy, not dramatic, but deeply connected. He mirrors your calm energy. If you handle situations gently, he follows. If you breathe through conflict, he adjusts his tone. That's not manipulation. It's emotional synchronization. Peace isn't one person's job. It's energy that travels both ways. When a man feels balanced in your presence, his instincts shift. He mirrors your softness because it reminds him of home. He talks about the future. Without fear, when a man feels at peace, the idea of forever stops scaring him. He talks about vacations, long-term goals, shared dreams, not as promises, but as natural extensions of what he already feels. That's because peace removes pressure. He doesn't feel trapped. He feels grounded. You've become part of his inner map of safety. Find he starts protecting your peace too. It's not just about what you give him. It's what he gives back. He defends you in rooms you're not in. He avoids people or topics that upset you. He shields you from unnecessary stress, even in small ways like, don't worry, he'll handle it. That's what happens when love turns into care, and care turns into peace. He finds joy in your ordinary moments. He doesn't need big dates or fancy plans. Sitting with you, watching a show, or eating in silence feels like enough. That's when you know you've become his peace, because the ordinary feels sacred in your presence. He looks at you the way people look at sunsets, not for thrill, but for calm. He may never say it, but in his heart, he's already whispered, "You're where my soul rests." Closing message. Peace isn't something you demand from someone. It's something you become. When a man finds peace in you, it's not because you fix him or please him. It's because your presence allows him to be. You listen without judging. You understand without controlling. You love without chaos. And in return, he gives you the same quiet devotion, a kind of love that doesn't need validation, because it already feels like home. So if you notice these hidden signs, don't underestimate their power. Because when a man finds peace in you, he's not just falling in love, he's finally finding himself.